Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go into the seal. So my reasoning for that, and timestamps do exist in case you just want to skip to certain parts, like me getting into the settlement, is because I can always do a coral forest later. And two, I've already failed the seal once, so any kind of preparation I want to make with food stockpiles, artifacts, machinery, and so forth, was done in the previous cycle. So you know what? Let's just go in. That being said, I still do have to be careful here, but I shouldn't be that careful. Again, we're going to stay on Viceroy difficulty for a moment, but as we actually think about what we want to do, we don't have too much still on the save file. I don't even have the the camp Embark unlocked, because yes, I can say I'm a new player, but obviously I'm playing the alpha and the other main game on the side when I can, so yeah, that's that. Meat, by the way, meat sea marrow from the trees, but obviously trees increase hostility. And then after that, we're just guessing a lot. So I guess it'll depend, just making sure. And I'm going to mute to cough at times. Yeah, we'll take beavers again. Now we get porridge, but we don't have anything. Now, it would be very funny to get porridge and nothing else, but that's why we're going to take villagers. And we're going to see what happens. Basically, just as another little thing, if you're listening to me now, I've played on Prestige 5, so, or is it 6? Buildings cost more, and that is a doozy. So just to kind of timestamp myself in that. But as we move on here, I don't. Thinking, I think I do want the wood. I'll take eggs and roots then. No, not meat. Yeah, I'll take eggs and roots. Yeah, eggs and roots. I'm thinking. No, eggs and vegetables. Just for quantity over quality. And we'll see what happens. Yeah. So away we go. Viceroy difficulty. Not that it should be, not that that's really indicative of anything, but unless I start climbing prestiges, not really any point. So what do we have for our forest mysteries? Gatherers bring back twice the amount of secondary resources when collecting from nodes. Then we have road speed, fuel consumption, cyst burning, and hostility 7. But if I can avoid that or fix the seal before that, that would be nice. Keeping in mind that the steps to do the seal are usually resolve around things in my experience, for me anyway, personally, around things that I don't normally do, like trade routes. But we'll see. So as we get into the pause preparation here, what do I actually want to do? Mushrooms and an algae pond. Would be interesting to take it. The game is, and we have humans, so we can actually use the porridge. But I think I'm gonna go for the planks here. Just if nothing else, because otherwise taking any of these three is a gamble. Ranch mainly due to relying on farms. Now, obviously, I could turn something else into meat, but I don't think I want to do that. Well, we'll see. Actually, what are the odds, actually, from these things? 10%, and I think it's the same even on large ones, although overgrown trees are 20 charges, which contribute less to the thingamajiggy. Which I always find an interesting mechanic to add, specifically for against the storm. Just to have a map where, yeah, trees instead are the thing that increase their hostility instead of the assigning of woodcutters, which both are essentially limiters for wood. Again, this is my for logs, this is my game dev brain thinking. I think we're gonna cut towards this forbidden glade unless it tells us the seal is elsewhere. Either way, we're spending all the time on this map, and we're gonna have to see. So, we're gonna take the safer pick here. I do want the kiln. The lizard house is interesting too. Again, I don't have to pick all the blueprints here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Especially if it's a gimme like the kiln, 95% of the time, in my opinion. And this, I don't know. Probably complex food. Let me take another look at my negative mysteries. I'm sure there's a better phrase to call them, but hey, let's see here. Yeah, not really any requirements, unlike the last one where I had services and I absolutely punched myself in the face, but skewers, I don't know, I just recently really started liking skewers, although biscuits is probably the second thing, but we need flour. We could, if we get fertile soil, we could build toward, we have a 66% chance, right? Unless we count the forester's hut, which I don't even know if I've unlocked yet. Actually, I'm just going to ask myself the question really quickly while I'm thinking of what to pick. So, I thought it was 2 R's. It's not. No, it's not. So I don't even have it unlocked yet, which means, yeah, 66% chance because I could get the root farm, the wheat farm, or the plantation, which does not give you anything for flour, which I could also take here, but better to have the ability to make food than the second step in between. I do understand the difficulties of building into flour-based production. Yeah, so many steps required, and even just rolling one blueprint, unless the game waits RNG, again, I'm thinking of what to do here, then yeah, there's not really much you can do. So yeah, I think we're gonna stick with this. Regardless of the trees, I'm not gonna be too tactical for the moment, although we do want to cut towards these. We're gonna cut this way, and I think we'll cut into this glade, primarily just to open space around the hearth, but also to, if we need to open a thingamajiggy, we can. I think the second one will be towards these abyssal. Basically, yeah, getting rid of any abyssal trees is going to be more bang for buck. Just straight up. Now, we'll still cut a little bit of the trees here and there, but for the most part, yeah, I've realized how important these overgrown abyssal trees are to the two sealed maps. Well, sealed maps, I keep calling it sealed forest. We'll say the whole name here, but the next thing I can do is either focus mushrooms or focus algae. Herbs for packs of provisions. Insects for another meat source, and I think, out of curiosity, let me just plop this down somewhere. Are mushrooms part of the meats? They are. So, I effectively... So, the way I think about skewers here is the meat and then the side product. I don't know what it was. It's the side. So, there's the meat, or I'll call it the main and the side. So, we have 20 of the main and 80 of the side. So we're at a 20-80 split for skewers, which means I want to eat into these two first. Now, I still prioritize what I can actually pick, which in this case actually is neither of them. So maybe we just eat mushrooms for... Yeah, we probably just eat the mushrooms. Or the meat. Because we can at least get that. Unless we buy it, obviously, but that's not... That's my concern is elsewhere. I could also feed the humans this porridge, but no reason to do that at the moment, I feel. And without further ado, yeah, I think we'll prioritize the mushrooms here. And then the one free person will be free to do otherwise. I should actually probably put a beaver. No, we don't have enough beavers. If I had 7 beavers, I'd be like, yeah, but no, we don't. So instead, we'll leave the... No, I want the... Funny enough, I want the impatience. So I'm tactically going to give myself impatience here. And yeah, we don't start off with any planks, so all we can really do is build shelter. And I think we'll start with that. By the time this lizard builds these 3 shelters, I think we'll be good to go. So just making sure we're all... Yeah, because one of these is not on only marked trees. And away we go. Oh, I had a mute to cough. Again, still coughing, but not as bad as it was. I think if things are slowly getting better, I might as well add these paths. I mean, I can leave things. I can make this, I can keep speeding through, but at a certain point, we do want to do anything else. So, I think, is this an overgrown tree as well? It is. But for the moment. So yes, I see the thing, but we don't need to. I think we're going to rush kiln first to make coal for essentially more time on the clock. Just a little quick. I've done this calculation before, but so you use 10 logs to make 5 coal, and aside from glade events, which can also ask for coal, which is kind of important. So I'll just leave the game running. No reason to really do much else. But basically, I'm just trying to make a crude workstation. So 10 logs. We can look at it here. So 10 logs is 120 seconds, so 2 minutes, while 5 coal is 220 seconds, so 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's a big efficiency increase in fuel. This is interesting. Gain 2 balls for every 2 completed dangerous or glade, but I think I'll take the plant fiber, funny enough. If we're starting out the game, we might as well just grab 3 plant fiber, if for no other reason than to make cloth really quickly. Because I don't want to have to wait on this algae pool. I think that I still don't like ponds myself, but I do realize I will use them when necessary. I feel it anyway. Yeah, so we'll make at least 3. Well, I should probably just make 4. All 4 actually. I don't know why I'm skedaddling here. It does cost time. That's the time sink, but I don't really mind doing that for the moment. So once we open up this path, I mean, I'm still going to open up more, probably, but we're going to keep this, yeah, we're going to keep this like this. If we need to cut more trees here, we will, but for the moment, we just want to open up this little area here. If for no other reason, then maybe we put a big building in the back. Usually I put rain collectors near the hearth, but we'll see. And then obviously, I think they can't rest behind the hearth. They have to come to the front regardless, so, hey, but things. I'm forgetting what I'm talking about here. So, yeah, let's start eating into the mushrooms as well. And we'll just have this one lizard. Usually, you need two, I think, is usually the max that can be used to make a building. There's a lot of information on Against the Storm that I wish was readily available, but I couldn't find it easily. I'm sure it's available, and I'm sure if I look through the community and search as I... nope, not do that. Let's actually favor to get Blue Resolve. I'm sure you can get... I can get the information I need, but yeah. I can only do what I can. So let's cut this way, just in case. You never know. You might have to cut into this glade to get to the seal, because the seal is the primary focus of the sealed forest. Haha, funny pun verb literally, but anywho. Yeah, 0.03 isn't a lot, but over the course of basically clearance season, I think it's well worth it. But we'll see. I wonder how many charges they've gone through. So what I want to do, if possible, is make bricks. Oh, we cannot. That's unfortunate. Because I want to make this kiln, but we can't because we don't have any bricks. Really? Huh. Well, in that case, we're still going to make this, and I think we're going to make the planks regardless. Because if nothing else... Is Human House bricks as well? They are. Ugh. Yeah, maybe we start making beaver houses. We can also think about carpenter. Yeah, carpenter's probably the pick then to go for, in my opinion. So we'll make the fabric first with the plant fiber we've gotten, and we'll get our little 0.12 resolve. Again, it's all based on trees, so as long as I focus these abyssal or overgrown abyssal trees, we should be relatively fine. Again, I keep forgetting if this is one. Yeah, it is. So actually, I want to leave that open for a moment. We'll build these roads because we'll need them anyway. But in the meanwhile. Oh, I was supposed to actually have you work, but we can build this path. We can build these paths. When that lizard finishes building the paths, we'll put them in the workstation, which just went to rest. Lizards have the lowest time during a break? Question mark. Yeah, and I think I'll continue focusing. I realized how important it is to have minimum 3 woodcutters, but preferably 6, but that's depending on your strategy, I guess. I could have also starved people for a moment, but we'll take the resolve here while we can. Every little bit, right? But after pretty much into Drizzle, we'll open the small glade. Even if we get the cornerstone where we get tools for glades during a storm, Move this over. We will use this algae pond if needed, but we shouldn't need to. And then what is this? Global production speed is slower. We can leave these on because we're going to be at 0. We're going to continue to be at 0 hostility for a long while. But more importantly, we're getting a lot of other stuff. So yeah, we'll see. For some reason, I thought I could use the steam arrow for bricks. That is not true. So, anywho. Yeah, I just want these woodcutters, because if nothing else, we can disable these woodcutters, but for the most part, I still want to just clear space around this, so even if we end up getting a bunch of hostility, which we shouldn't, there are also a bunch of overgrown abyssal trees, but that will depend, I should accept these orders, on what else happens. We'll go for sales. I forgot to also make the trading post, but that'll come later, because it's not like I can buy anything anyway. 5 tools, parts, or tools and parts and pipe production. Oh, that one gives me bricks there. Probably would have been smart, but meh. I mean, there's a very good chance we do 2 anyway. We do have, I mean, they wouldn't say kaya. There is copper ore somewhere, but I think we'll continue selling goods, and we'll go with that. And I'm going to leave consumption on, primarily for reasons. Oh, yeah, but that's right. We don't have any bricks. So, right before, So let's see what happens here. That's interesting, but no. Trade routes, we will be doing that eventually, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna actually reroll here. Beavers are the only one educated. Usually, if I were to pick a cornerstone based on some service being fulfilled to gain an effect, I would normally want at least 2 races affected. Not saying that I can't go for scrolls here, I don't think, because I think, nope, that's tools and luxury goods. Never mind, I am lying to everyone. So, Mark of the Sealed ones are probably the next thing, because I'm building into pipes, most likely, but that would require me to start making rain collectors, which I will need, but we're going to reroll here. Yeah, and I'll take Rich Glades. This is the safest pick. I could get 40 water skins. That's not bad for me either, I don't think, but we're going to go Rich Glades, and then we're going to cut into this small glade here. Again, these cornerstones are primarily why I've just learned to start, taking cornerstones and waiting to open glades. Now, I don't doubt there's a moment where you want to open glades during the storm of year 1, but, yeah, I don't do that. So, let's see. 2 humans, 1 beaver. I'll take the more there, and we're gonna put a thing there because we just happened to get the thing. And then let's actually triangulate this. So here in this dangerous glade, I mean, there's no other dangerous glade. So the seal's over here. We can open this forbidden glade, and it looks like we're gonna be cutting this way, which happens to kind of work out because there are abyssal trees here that I could cut into. But I also want to make use of this fertile soil. So. That's right, I don't have a farm anyway, so I can't even do that. But do we need to knock this down? Yes, because it gives me 10 stone, which I need to make bricks. We can only make 2 bricks. I think that should be enough. No, kill needs 4. Man, I'm so sad. Anywho, I could start burning sea marrow, but I don't want to do that. No, actually, there's clay. I'm looking at clay right in front of my face, and we can wait for that now. So, because I want to run, well, we also want to make the cookhouse. I guess the decision is what I want to do. Do I want the fuel? I on the sealed forest, I really want to make efficient use of my wood. I swear it said logs before. Was that only on the alpha? I'm going crazy. Anywho, I did want to make the kiln, and the kiln also makes bricks, so, you know, actually... And then we can make jerky for the lizards through the kiln, but I think turning everything into skewers is going to be my best bet here. Yeah. So, funny enough, even though we're kind of favoring lizards at the moment, yeah, we'll do what we can. So... also because Stonecutters Camp usually is going to be at 2 stars, so you know what? This is kind of inefficient because it's a bit ways away, but it's not the farthest way away. So essentially, ooh, I just realized, yeah, we have a food problem. We're going to have a food problem soon. Huh. We can have everyone eating porridge, or at least the humans. My worry... Yeah. I guess we do need that cookhouse now. 1 person is not housed. We can take care of that later. Yeah, I think we'll make the cookhouse... Make the cookhouse first. Or try to. Oh man, how would I have dealt with this if buildings cost more? Anywho. So, what did we use the planks on? Did we really not get anything else? We didn't, did we? Well, I could alternate now because what we're gonna do. So we're gonna put these humans here for the moment, and then this extra lizard is gonna be in the workstation. We can't even make this cookhouse yet anyway, so we might as well just sit here. Actually, we need bricks for this. That's why I was trying to make the carpenter. Yeah, we can't make it yet anyway, so we want to make the carpenter for the planks. So you know what? Let's start working on this. I'm gonna actually have... Wait, is he? No, yeah, he just started, so we can kind of just move this immediately. Actually, it doesn't need to be over there. We'll put it here instead, and now that plops things right there. But that's because I want to put the carpenter here. And we shouldn't be making... In fact, no, we still need another set of planks, don't we? Yeah. So let's do that. And we're going to be waiting regardless, although if that's the case, let's actually take this lizard away. And let's extend these roads. So we need more space here regardless, so we're going to cut a little around. But not too much. That's already kind of a lot of trees, but you get the point. I'm trying to clear out space so that when we set up these farms or cut towards this, basically the small glade into this dangerous glade where the seal is, we can get ready for the forbidden glade here. I think that's what I want to do. Or that's what I feel like I'm going to do. That being said, I need to make this trading post as well. So, yeah. But without further ado, so right after that we'll disable the planks. No more mushrooms. So let's I actually should have disabled mushrooms here. We'll do insects instead, and we are going to be in some trouble in a hot moment, but don't think there's anything else happening. I didn't even get a chance to pick a farm, so it's not like I could have used this fertile soil immediately anyway, but if I do this, I can get pipes. Do I want that? Probably not. So what instead I'm going to do... I know that Lizard's working on making stuff. I was not supposed to do this. That's where all my planks... I was like, where did all my planks go? They were not in the right place. So we'll have them working on this stuff. And I can't get blue resolve, so we'll disable that. Pretty sure I don't really have anything to sell, though. So we're just making the trading post just to make it, so we can save ourselves some time. I should also make this makeshift post in the meanwhile. Because we will need to do that. Don't need to do these orders at the moment. Out of curiosity, though, let's see. Oh. Well, thankfully, we're just on Viceroy. I say just, but I don't believe in myself, so we're actually going to do some maneuvering here. So we'll sell all of our plant, or a lot of it. 4 parts? That's not enough. 2 wildfire essence. I don't want to sell any of the food, if possible. Might need to sell another part. We'll see how far we can get. Yeah, that. And then the rest of our logs. That's going to hurt me somewhat. I could also... You know what? Let's dip into leather really quickly so I can save on all that wood. Yeah, and we'll buy the plantation here. I feel like it's going to be very important for me to set this up now. Now, the unfortunate part is that I... just used all these planks. But it's for a good cause. No, let's actually do this. So we're gonna remove this carpenter really quickly. And I guess we'll take this, because that's right, I just did that. We'll chain these together, and if I get another farm, I'm gonna be very sad with myself. I didn't even realize I was doing the order, but anywho. 2-star fishing hut or clan hall? Oh, I should just sit on this. Can I even make the thingies? No. But reminding myself I'm not on Alpha 2 means that I have to make sure of stuff. Hold on. Yeah, let me think for a moment. So we need planks again. Yeah. It must be... This must be a sign that I'm about to get there. I mean, I have yet to build a kiln anyway, so we can just hold on these blueprints for the moment. I would like to make specialized housing, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, so we'll instead just make 3 houses here. Because I feel like I'm going to get more. So hey, also, in the meanwhile, I think they're not going to be able to use all these farm fields, but I think 1 will be enough for these 9 spots. And if it's not, it's going to be close enough. Making another plantation just gets me, well, I mean, it's extra stuff, but anywho. So yeah, we really need to get this working. I think I should actually just start making rainwater. But we can wait, kind of. Because yeah, I really need this carpenter to get more efficient planks. And that's probably... Basically, I went negative a lot on wood at the moment, which I don't really mind as much, so... Then we have 4 free builders. That's fine for the moment. Because eventually we will do some other cool stuff. So let's start using these planks. I could still do this. Yeah, I guess I should. Because we are sitting on open. We're sitting on free builders until if and when I decide to make this rain collector, which I do want to make, but we'll see. So I think with that we just have them stop for the moment. Because we should have enough planks afterward. And if we don't, I'm going to be sad. But, yeah, 4, and then there's 6 right here being made. Oops. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, fine. Since you're taking a break, we'll put you in the carpenters. And then we'll just have you make wood, basically. Or a lot of planks, because we will need them anyway. I'm just going to say 20, 30, but we'll just have them kind of autopilot on planks for the moment. I should actually have these beavers closer. And yeah, we'll get a bit of plant fiber, a bit of berries. It's fine. Again, keeping in mind we do want to make, well, these thingamajiggy. Also, we have clay. So let's start making bricks as well. I don't think I need this other lizard. But we'll make these paths because I think I'll need them. And yeah, once we start making these things, we should be. I want to make the kiln. The cookhouse is still gonna be the pick here, I think. Even though we're technically out of meat, but hey, I think we're also starving here and there. Yeah, it looks like we're starving. We are starving. So let's actually eat into our eggs, I guess. So that we don't starve during the storm. We'll get meat back, but until that happens, we'll leave things as they are. And then maybe next year we cut into the seal area. Oh no, actually we have to cut into the small glade here instead. My mistake. But we do want to set this up, because if we don't set it up, we're not going to be able to go anywhere. Even cut a little bit over here too. There is this for coal. So we don't need the kiln if we spawn the coal veins here, but we need something here. Pipes, most likely, because we can... yeah, we'll see. We'll see. 5 charges left, but we still want to cut around this just to make up space. Or I want to make up space. And we'll see what else happens today. I feel like there's something else here. Yeah, I have another lizard just kind of sitting around. I could throw them in the carpenter. I don't think I want to do that. I think... yeah, let's finally start trying to make this cookhouse. Because, boy, it's taken a bit. And I do want to start making this food. So, let's have this free builder lizard start working on this cookhouse. This is going to be a bit of a problem, because we're going to be at negative hostility, but meh. Yeah, we'll still be at negative hostility even with the gain here. So unless I start burning something, we're not going to be happy, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So that, and I technically roots too. Everything but berries. Because we just want to make more food for ourselves, theoretically speaking. In fact, I should just assign this lizard to this cookhouse. Now, do we have enough bricks? Not necessarily, but that's what these 2 lizards are doing. We should have enough bricks. It looks like we have enough bricks. Do we? Yeah, we do. So what I want you to do is just carry those bricks over to the main warehouse. If you haven't already done so, and we'll get started. We'll have you both working in there. Unless we still are missing planks, which we are, but you get the point. 7, yeah. 7 out of 8 planks. And when this finishes, you guys can start making the thing. I don't think they're going to make it in time, but we'll do our best. So I think, yeah, I actually want to put pipes in these 2 buildings. Yeah, carpenter, cookhouse. And if and when it happens, maybe the makeshift post, unless we get a druid's hut or anything that we can make oil and press, so on and so forth. So we prepped this glade to open. We have a bunch of stone. So about 80 plus stone. And a whole lot of wishing. Here's where I wish I had the water, but hey. So actually, let's see how long it takes for them to actually make a thing, because I don't know if they're going to make it in time. We do have a comfort bonus, but I think we're taking 12 resolve during the storm. We'll see. Also, I should be eating into the berries now that I have them. But we can also stop eating eggs is what I'm trying to say. Until we run out of berries. So let me just try to time this. So 2 seconds and we'll just do a time here. What is going on? Extra food eaten? Yeah, longer rest and higher chance of consuming twice as much food, which means yeah, it would be great to it would be great to make this food ASAP. If we go hungry during the storm, we should be able to handle it if we boost someone's resolve, but we're trying our best. So how long does it take us to make these skewers? It looks like about 2, 52, 54, about 2 minutes to make 10 skewers. Which kind of is in line with how breaks happen, but hey. So there goes all our berries. We'll eat into the porridge. Even if it's even if a race does not like the porridge, I want to use the raw food to process into anything else aside from berries. And thank goodness I did that at that time because 8 people just took a break. But I think, well, we're gonna wait for this next cornerstone, but we're gonna cut into this next small glade to get closer to the seal. Kind of want to break into the seal quickly. Not that there's any real benefit to doing so, I don't think. But hey, these are overgrown trees, right? Yeah. And yeah, we want these 2 in here making skewers. We can make them for a little... Yeah, we can make them for a while. And that's all I really have to say at the moment. Next would probably be the kiln, which I have not gotten to making yet, but it's fine. Oh! So we'll put it here just to prep it. In fact, I should probably move it closer. I like moving the non-crude, anything but the crude workstation and the makeshift post. I like moving them farther. Also because it's free to move them, and any other building you can't really move unless you have a specific modifier, mystery, whatever you want to call it. But hey. I keep wanting to put a human in the hearth because I'm like, oh, maybe prestige. But no, that's not what's happening here. So, yeah, right when this storm ends, I'll look at the cornerstones and then we'll decide... I mean, I probably still want to cut into a glade. Yeah, so 20 reed, 20 clay. Or insects, but... and then biscuits if I were making flour, but we're not. So instead... Again, I could start burning sea marrow instead of wood here, but... Yeah, you know what? We'll burn sea marrow, at least for a little bit. I do want to use it for glades instead, but while we're here, I think we'll do this. Now, the unfortunate part is we're a ways off, but until we get to this forbidden glade, or we basically cut around this area, I think we would want to put the hearth... Let me just... I can look at it right here. Also, I have yet to make the beacon tower, which is my mistake, but... Yeah. Yeah, we're going to probably plan to put the hearth somewhere there, so we can actually do stuff around the... thingy, the seal, and the forbidden glade when it happens. So yeah, let's cut into this glade here. But we do want a lot of space, so that's what I'm trying to hint at. We actually have more fertile soil. I forgot because we were standing on top of it, but again, that's fine for the moment. Let's actually do this exploration contract. That's overall going to be at least 60 reed, 60 clay, which reeds is going to be quite a lot if we can make wine or anything else that we care about there, but hey. And we're actually finally making skewers. Here, though... Funny enough, I think I want beaver. We'll take humans. And the reason I'm doing that is because particularly if we get another fertile soil... if we get more fertile soil, I want another farm, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, I should have also accepted these orders. I forgot about them. Human resolve... grain, but we don't have that. Trade routes, yeah, we're gonna be... I promise we're gonna work on trade routes soon. That I know it hasn't been happening recently, but hey. And stuff. Production is quicker. Yeah, I guess we'll think about it, but it's not like we have a lot we can do here. Maybe we make wine instead. Thinking. I guess I'll accept these blueprints first. I wonder if they're both are weighted by, like, basically picking blueprints here. Well, would have changed the order now that we've opened the order. Actually, yeah, now that I've done that. If it affects the other way, I should take this order and then do blueprints. And what I mean by that is, if I pick, say, have Beaver Resolve or Wine, if I pick this, will I have a very high, or if not guaranteed chance, a very high chance of getting something like the Cellar? Or the Cannery, or anything here, like Tinctuary? You get the point. That being said, I would need containers, but that's not my worry at the moment. So it's funny they haven't given me anything for lizards. It's because even though I'm making a lot of lizard stuff, but I guess it's because of the number of humans and beavers, if I were to guess. Again, my game dev brain thinking. Otherwise, because I'm getting the thingy, I forgot what I was saying. Actually, we're doing trade routes too. We'll do pottery and wine. And now I take the blueprints. Or I'm gonna take the blueprints. I guess we'll see still. Again, I wanted to cut into the seal area before I picked these, but I don't think I have that luxury anymore. I could have also picked the fishing hut to speed up this algae pool, but we're just gonna take the clan hole for the moment, I think. And then we'll see what happens. Foragers camp stuff. Here we can wait again. We can make more efficient. We can make trade goods and more efficient pipes. Do I want to do that? Probably at some point. We will need... No, we can make tools already. My mistake. I misread something. So... checking OBS really quickly. Skewers, jerky, oil. And we do have a plantation. It's not the most efficient oil, but it's oil. Which I actually really want to make it. Packs of provisions here is important too, but overall increasing production speed is I really like the plantation strat, and we also have lizards to burn here and there. So yeah. That being said, speaking of lizards, actually no, not speaking of lizards. We need more bricks now. That's what I'm trying to say. Another beaver here would be nice. So we're going to do this and then put another beaver here. And because we have 6 woodcutters working, I mean, it should work out in my favor. If it doesn't, I'm going to be quite sad. But in the meanwhile, let's make this path over here because we are doing stuff. In fact, I should have probably snaked around the other way, but it's fine for the moment. Because these stones are going to disappear eventually anyway. Knowing that, I should have actually change the priority of these, but it's fine. I shouldn't need another farm here, right? I mean, that's a lot of space, but 11. I guess we'll see. Let's actually put the thingy. We do need to make the blight tower, the beacon tower at some point. But for the moment, let's actually deactivate this. I just opened a glade, but let me just put this butcher down. Which is actually... Did we deplete this? We did. So we're going to turn this around because I want to put the butcher here. Oh my goodness. That's right. Some buildings are like that where you have to rotate them in that specific way. But we have the cookhouse, but this is primarily going to be for the oil. That's all I have to say. What did we get here? Insects and another pond. So we can move the pond over here. The sad part is we can't make a hearth here. Well, we could put it here, I guess. I feel like, though, eventually I want to move it, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see. This is going to be interesting. Out of curiosity, can I cut these? I can. So, yeah, we're going to clear this area, but we are going to still put a hearth here, I think. We would also need a small warehouse here really quickly, but we don't have any bricks at the moment. Goodness gracious. But yeah, let's put a hearth here, or let's set up the hearth. And then we need a space for the warehouse. Probably over here? Yeah, probably over here. So instead of cutting this way, we'll cut this way. And then put the warehouse over there, that side. Otherwise, we're walking a long way. In fact, I could probably put a warehouse here. Just as an intermediary-ish. Yeah, probably should. Can I even fit it there? Let's actually ask that question first. Yeah, I can. So let's put one here. Or try to put one there. I'll even prioritize it. Even though we need to do both, but we'll put those both as high priority. And we'll see what happens with our face. So speed through. Again, not really much I can do at the moment. I could start making packs of provisions with these herbs and the thingies. I guess I could. Yeah, let's actually do that, because we might have stuff we're holding on to that we could trade off or send off to a trade route. Because we'll need standing we'll need I'll need the standing anyway for the seal, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So working on trade routes now, I think, does me for the best. Again, kind of a spoiler for myself, but at this point, I should already know. Yeah. We're also sitting on roots and thingy-majiggies, but hey, also, I am not eating skewers, am I? No, we're not. We should have been doing that earlier. And the reason is because we would have been able to hit 15 resolve a lot earlier. It's not the most, but it's resolve. We don't win the map by resolve, but it helps to at least unlock blueprints. I think, anyway. And yeah, it seems like we can make use. So let me just count this: 11 soil with base farming speed. Yeah, they're sitting idle there, but the season's about to change, so I don't really see a reason to do much else. If and when needed, we'll put another warehouse up here. And then eventually, at some point, especially when this goes away, we can do things. We're also sitting on insects here. That's important for the cookhouse here. But we're also getting mushrooms at the moment, so I'm not too pressured to. Yeah, I'm not too pressured to harvest these insects right now. And that being said, we do need this hearth. I feel like I need this hearth. So let's see if we can trade anything really quick. Might as well get started now, if possible. Bricks. Oh, we have to move the provisions, but you get the point. We need 14 bricks, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I think it will show, yeah, it'll show me when I can start a route. We'll start with 5. Might as well start somewhere. Yeah, I could have used those bricks, but I think I could have used those bricks regardless somewhere else anyway. And I think even without the boost and resolve, we could also do it. We could also do stuff. I'm trying to think about what I may want and need. Not really too much, unless I want to make produce pipes. So basically, I'd be selling stuff to make pipes, essentially. And I can't make copper bars anyway. Out of curiosity, let's say I had the furnace. Let's ask ourselves the question really quick. Oh, never mind. I don't have that. The things. I mean, I could just put in copper. Excuse me. And so it's 4 to make 2 with some fuel, but 4 copper ore for 2 copper bars. And if I sell... Let's see. I mean, I could just do this. So 8 copper ore for 1 copper bar here instead is essentially what I'm looking at. I want... Well, we need to produce pipes, so that's the first order of business. First order of business. So we need 3. We can make 2 here. 9 makes 6. I want to make 10, actually. So we need 15. We would need 15 copper bars, and to that, we would trade pretty much all of our copper ore, which I don't really mind doing, but... I think I'd rather give off a little bit more leather than the actual fuel that I'm burning in the hearth, theoretically speaking. And then we'll just grab something really quick. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I could also just directly buy pipes, but we need to produce pipes. That's why I'm buying the ingredient instead of the product. Product? Ingredient instead of product? Did I say that right? Anywho. We'll just grab like a boot or 2. Now... This is interesting. That would be much appreciated, but we're not going to get that in time. Unless I buy 5 amber, then we get the trade route. Actually, is that even going to complete in time? It will. So, in a twist of fate, if I want more speed on roads to save myself at least... I think it's like a 5-second save, actually. And I'm sitting on a bunch of planks and I didn't make any building materials. But if I'm going to do that... Ooh, I don't want to do that, though. Let's continue selling what we have here at the moment. So, yeah, when I get 10 amber... we'll do stuff. We're sitting on copper bars, but I need to use those copper bars, actually, so... basically just use up all the copper bars here. Or try to. Coughing. Yeah, we're gonna continue to make skewers for a good moment. But the more pressing concern is the other stuff I have to do. Let's see, 2 fabric. Yeah, that doesn't need fabric. Okay. So if I use up the 2 fabric, it's not going to be too much of a worry. I do still need to make this kiln, but we don't have any people at the moment. 5 minutes, no room for shelters, so I guess we'll do this. So I'm going to make 2 beaver houses right now, so that when the newcomers come, they can make the houses. That's my intent. Or my attempt at intent. Oh, goodness, my body. Again, if my health was really serious, I wouldn't even be recording here. But yeah, we're just gonna eat skewer. We're just gonna have everyone eat skewers. We'll use the berries for things. Am I making oil, by the way? No, because I haven't even made the butcher yet. So basically, when these newcomers come, I will get to work. I forgot to buy the thing. Well, too late now. Well, now I'm sitting on 10 amber, which is not, too bad, but I would have liked to use it on the thing. I completely forgot. Hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I forget things. But anywho, we're about to get a bunch of scales as well, on top of any sea marrow that this is going to give us. So 15, yeah. We had some sea marrow to burn. Also, we just punched a hole through this and didn't really do much, but actually, while we're here, while that does give us hostility, I just want to clear space around the hearth to put shelter and whatnot, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Now, you know what I also forgot to do? I forgot to make these parks. 1, 2, and we might as well make the garden as well. Just basically prepping this for the upgrades, although these do need to be prioritized as well. Also, we don't have any free builders to build anything unless I do things myself, but we're kind of busy getting stuff. In fact, I should disable bricks for the moment as we move on. Now, the unfortunate part is that unless we make these beaver houses immediately, we might end up losing a beaver or two, but I guess we're going to find out. Storm season is 100% longer, no sacrificing. So, yeah, what I think what we're going to do is just play around with the resolve here. If we were on a higher prestige, this would not fly. I would probably have... or I would have needed to think about prioritizing the beaver housing, but it's fine. Actually, I might even want to put a human here for the moment, but I think in the next season, which will be the next video, we want to cut into this forbidden glade, I think is the plan. We always need more provisions. Yeah, we will always need more provisions, I think. So let's immediately level up the Smoldering City with that trade route. When this recovers, we should be good to favor the beavers here, but we can wait. We can wait for like near 30%, and then boop. And then we'll take the human hit for the moment, and we'll juggle resolve. Lizards will be perfectly fine because they're resilient, so they probably won't even hit negative. If I had to choose, I'll probably sacrifice a human instead, but we'll let them go really low before we do that. As I accept these orders. I can also accept new villagers now, but we're going to wait till after the storm to do that. We will do this eventually, so we'll do that. Well, 2 hertz to level 2. We will resolve above 30, and we don't have any coats. Sorry. Coats. C-O-A-T-S. Leather production from the trees. Funny enough, maybe, because we can just buy coats. The resolve is going to be a bit trickier. So we'll see. Do I just want to take this in the face? Funny enough, I might actually want to. Now, if we get another fishing hut, I'm going to be really, really bamboozled, but we'll disable this. And let's see what there's going to be. Okay, yeah, so the resolve did kind of recover there. We're making things now. We should also prioritize that if possible. We're sitting on 47 I could actually just be making building materials, all things considered, so you know what? Actually, we'll prioritize that. But we'll have one lizard work on building materials and no lizards. So, and actually, in fact, we'll put a human there instead. And the lizard here can be working on oil. In fact, I want all lizards on deck making oil if possible. But we only have 4 lizards. So 1, 2... Yeah, we have lizards in the cookhouse. They've already started working on skewers, so I don't really want to interrupt them. But, well, to do a little trade-off here... Oh, never mind. I want to make these buildings. I lied to myself. Fuel consumption 20. Burning cyst takes longer, but that's fine. I don't lose people here, do I? No, not if we keep juggling favor here. Again, this won't fly in a higher prestige, but we'll make things happen. And without further ado, I will take these extra people. Funny enough, I'm going to take more lizards because I need these lizards here making oil. So that means we can leave these lizards in the cookhouse. Leave these lizards in the cookhouse. In fact, I could probably be making more skewers, especially since because we have essentially, I want at least one villager working on complex food per 10. That's the kind of the math that I've worked out for myself. But as the season ends and we look at our cornerstones, oh boy, Miss Piercers, which would allow me to pick blueprints early, but because I already picked blueprints, I'm probably going to pick Rich Glades instead. I think that's 2 stacks of Rich Glades, which is a whole lot of resources. So essentially, if I cut into this Dangerous Glade and then I do this Forbidden Glade, or Dangerous Glade and then I cut into this Forbidden Glade, I should be set for the whole map. But we'll take this now, actually, just so I can look at the blueprints and see what I have on my plate. Here's the Druid's Hut. Didn't need it. It is more efficient oil, but I think we'll leave it to the thingamajiggy. So we can either grab things for fabric and training gear because I do have the clan hall, or we make ale, but probably going to pick the Weaver instead. But that's something I'll decide in the next video. So without further ado, we'll check the trade routes really quickly. Hey, skewers. Actually, before I forget... no. I think we'll wait on that. Yeah, we'll wait on that. So without further ado, I'll think about the trade routes later. But I think I do want to cut, actually, just to remind myself one more time. We'll be at the end screen as I move this around, but I just want to make sure I'm cutting into this Dangerous Glade here. And I will see what I do in the next video. And I hope I'd like to thank you for watching. It is always humbling for that. But if you have any comments, advice, criticism, questions, I will do my best to address them. Otherwise, I usually try to think about what people say. But yeah, if nothing else, I'm not going to take up much more of your time. I hope you enjoyed watching, listening, or both. And I'll see you later. Bye.